A little bit about savings versus investing and what kind of the difference is. I think this is something that unfortunately a lot of people don't think about, or I think a lot of people understand this when they hear it, but at first we just don't really think about this and what the difference is. So oftentimes I hear people on the radio or other people comparing whole life insurance to mutual funds and 401ks and all these other kind of retirement plans. Well, that's not really an apples-to-apples comparison. Why is that? Because they're not the same. So if we look at savings and investments, what's the difference? Well, the real difference is going to be risk. Particularly that savings vehicles do not have risk. Investment vehicles have risk. In an investment, you can gain money, you can lose money. It's basically likened unto something that can evaporate. You can lose money, you can grow. In a savings vehicle, you're not going to lose, you're not going to have evaporation in that vehicle. So where does whole life insurance fall in? Well, let's look at the other options. Where's a 401k going to fall in? Well, 401k is particularly in mutual funds. And where are mutual funds? In a risk. Stocks are a risk. Real estate is risk. All these type of investments are risk. They take risk. Now, whole life insurance, on the other hand, is going to fall over into the savings category, where we have bonds, CDs, annuities, and whole life insurance. Now, the strategy of the wealthy, or the strategy that I use myself and that I know a lot of my clients use and that I've seen a lot of wealthy people use, is putting safety first. So what they'll do is, and let me tell you, I guess, a real quick story about this wealthy farmer, okay? So I know this wealthy farmer. He was making money in his farm. That's where he knew how to make money. He would take that money and put it into his savings vehicles. Particularly, he used whole life insurance, and he would just stack his money in there. Eventually, about 20 years down the road, he had an investment opportunity to start a business. He took money out of his whole life insurance policy and he put it into his investment. Then, as he made money in that investment, he took the money he was making over here, and he then started to put that money back over here into his safety side. This is how savings and investments should work. This is what most people, if not all people, should be doing, because this is how I've seen the wealthy people do it, and this is how and what works. Savings first, put your money somewhere safe. Then when you have good investment opportunities, you can take your money out, such as real estate, like I said, a business, even stocks. A majority of stock investors will use this kind of strategy as well. The point is, in America today, unfortunately, we've been taught to just chuck all our money into some kind of investment that really doesn't work. Who are the people making money on mutual funds? The businesses that make mutual funds. They're going to make money whether you make money or not. Most people do not make big bucks in mutual funds. I've never met a mutual fund millionaire, as Dan Thompson always says. So now, when we look at this savings versus investing, we see here that our savings options, why would we want to choose whole life insurance? The real reason is just because of growth. If you do any kind of study, or you read in any study, you can see a study on our site about this as well. Bonds, CDs, whole life insurance, put these things up against each other. Whole life insurance wins all the time. It just has better growth. So for the safety aspect, life insurance is a better savings vehicle. It's hard to compare life insurance to these other things because you can always liquidate money out of life insurance, put it into an investment, and as your investment grows, put it back into life insurance, and then wait for another good investment opportunity. This is the difference between savings and investments. Hopefully this makes sense. If you have other questions, feel free to email me, or feel free to also hit me up on Twitter or whatever else you want to do. I'm